Welcome to Edge Unscripted. Listen along for candid conversations with the Edge marketing team on a variety of subjects in the world of PR and marketing and other topics that have our attention. Let's go off script.
Welcome back to Edge Unscripted. I'm Amy Juers, and today we're talking about something that we're all feeling a little bit in marketing communications right now. We've moved past, hey, look at what AI can do for me and what it can write for me in 5 seconds. And now we've hit like this, oh no, this actually has to be accurate and on brand. Whoa, right? So with me, I have Mary, my AI enthusiast, Mary Obregon, who's with me today on this podcast. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Amy. We have entered the please don't let AI get me fired phase.
Oh my gosh, no, don't let, right, me or the agency or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with the big picture. For a couple of years, the story around generative AI, and it was all about speed, all about novelty. I just wrote a blog post, a haiku. I had a subject line, or actually 20 subject lines in 10 seconds. So Mary, at what point did you realize, or what made you come to the point of, okay, that's really cute, but we have to be serious now? Do you remember that moment?
Yeah, we were in the novelty phase, and it was fun, but it was a little terrifying. But what we're seeing now is organizations are not just experimenting anymore. They're truly depending on AI in daily workflows. So once you start to depend on it, the question changes and it becomes, can AI do it? Once you start to depend on it, the question changes. It's no longer, can AI do it? It's, can AI help us do it precisely, responsibly, or in a way that can help move the business forward? And that's where the human factor becomes a non-negotiable. You can't outsource judgment, accountability, or brand stewardship to a model, at least not if you want to keep your job.
Or a client, right?
Or a client, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the difference between, this is a really fun toy, a really fun lab I can play around in, which I'm still playing and I love it, but still, but now it touches our clients and it affects our reputation, their reputation, our revenue, their revenue. So let's talk about like what happens if we just let AI run without any human oversight. We know that AI gives you speed, but also it's not always reliable. It can hallucinate. So walk us through, Mary, like what that means.
Sure. So AI is excellent at drafting based on patterns of past data, which is useful, but that's also why unedited AI content often feels generic or vague, kind of overconfident about hallucinations, maybe. It can miss more of the emotional nuance your audience needs.
Sure.
It can drift away from positioning or target market. It won't focus in on that. It'll introduce subtle inaccuracies that can ultimately slowly erode trust. So yeah, you get something on the page quickly, but you also get a ton of hidden risks that only show up later. So brand dilution, for example, reputational risk, wasted content, honestly, that just doesn't map to your buyer journey or align with anything within the company.
Yeah, that's, I love that you called out the overconfidence part. Like AI, AI never says, I might be wrong here, Amy, right? Like it always comes across as, here's what you should do, and here's what you should say, and this is the best. And, here's the answer. And you really have to interrogate it. But like from what you're seeing, where do those gaps show up, I guess, most painfully?
Well, yeah, like I said, so the 3 biggest places I'm thinking are brand dilution. So you end up just sounding like everyone else in your category because it's pretty generic what AI will generate. Reputational risk, a small unverified claim or tone deaf maybe line that sneaks through.
Yeah, and Mary, with our audiences that we're helping our clients reach, we can't That's just not
Mm-mm.
acceptable, not acceptable
No.
at all, right?
Yeah, you need to make sure that it's aligning with your brand reputation. And then another one is strategic waste. So you're trying to push out content that doesn't connect to a customer problem or an offer or a real stage in your buyer journey. So it's just fluff that doesn't have any connection and is not doing anything for the brand. So it's really speed without expert refinement just multiplies those problems faster.
Yeah, it does. So, if AI gives you the speed, what exactly are we supposed to own? I think you and I know the answer, but I think we should expand it for our audience, because I think a lot of teams still treat it as AI writes, human skims, but that's not what you're really describing, is it?
Right. No. So skim and send is not a strategy. That's not how we have worked in the past. The human role is to kind of clarify the intent of the content, what it's supposed to achieve. You want to define your audience, who it's really for, set truth boundaries. So what can we claim? What needs sourcing? You can shape the nuance and tone. Does it sound like us? Does it sound like our brand? Or is it just a random tech blog, for example, for in our industry? And it aligns with a broader strategy. So does this support a real business goal? Like before a single word goes public, a person must decide, why are we creating this? Who's going to see it? What is it allowed to promise? AI cannot decide that. That is something that the humans need to do. It can't feel brand risk. It can't look at your roadmap or your revenue targets. That is something that we as humans need to do for AI.
Absolutely. And it most definitely cannot say this paragraph will make our general counsel's eye twitch, because, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Humans have to own what's true, what's on brand, and what is worth publishing. AI can be a drafting partner. That's totally fine. But humans are the ones that are signing the work and sending it out. So it ultimately comes down to us.
Yeah. Yeah. One could argue that we need a specific role, like an AI-fluent content specialist. This is the part where some people might think, great, one more job title, right? But it's important, and so a role like that, an AI-fluent content specialist, what would that mean to you? What should it mean to us?
So good question. It doesn't always have to be a new headcount. Sometimes it can be a role inside a firm like ours that embeds closely with the client. So, but the point is someone has to be both. So a strategic marketer or subject matter expert and a skilled AI collaborator. So they're not just prompting ChatGPT with something. They frame the problem clearly, they identify the audience, journey stage, intended action, brand voice, and design workflows. So AI generates a first pass. We refine it, a human refines it, right? We inject real data and proof within that first pass. Then AI will help us with the structuring and editing of that. But the human will do the final work, the final alignment against strategy, compliance, and risk. So it kind of enforces guardrails. So what must be sourced, what must be human written, and what should be manually verified. And over time, they can tune AI to your brand. So it's not just writing, it's writing more like you.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the guardrails comment. That's a really strong word. And it has a lot of meaning for us in our agency, but also, I'm sure it's what our clients and our readers, what they require. So this one person ensures that their audiences aren't mischaracterized. It backs up claims, and ROI is grounded, and we're not just feeding random prompts into random tools all over the organization.
Yeah. Without it, you'll get fragmented efforts, different teams prompting in different ways, no standards, and content that feels inconsistent. and potentially untrustworthy in the end.
Yeah.
So the AI-fluent specialist is truly the glue and the guardrail.
Yeah.
It's holding
Yeah.
everything together and keeping everything in one track.
Yeah. That trust word, big today, really big. And it's getting bigger every day, because I'm sure when you go out and, you're on social media, or even I see now, even on LinkedIn, commercials, or ads, I should say. And I just know they're AI generated, which is fine. But also you have to think about behind, you wonder, you think about the brand that's using it. And I think AI is at the point right now where either you have to really, if you're doing any kind of video, it either needs to appear like you honestly can't tell if it's real or not, or else it has to be extremely fake, like me flying over a dragon and giving it a hug, or whatever it is. Like you have to, I think right now in the stage of AI, you have to go one way or the other, just so that trust factor remains solid. So let's spend a little time talking about areas that are still like very closely or very clearly, human only territory. So what are the things that AI just cannot own, and even as it gets better?
Yeah. There's two big ones. So judgment and accountability. So if there's a misleading claim or a misaligned promise or a tone that offends the wrong person, nobody's going to blame the model. They're going to blame the company that put that statement out, that claim, that promise. So the humans are accountable for what gets published, what data is trusted, what's promised to the customers, and how we fix it when something goes wrong. So the other human only area is context and strategy. So AI is good at patterns in text, but it doesn't know your financials, your roadmap, your internal politics, subtle shifts in a competitive landscape.
Hey, you don't want it to know your financials anyways, right?
Yeah, no, true. So it's something that you need to add in yourself and incorporate those in
the nuances, the little things that it just doesn't know.
Yeah, I mean, only humans can say, yeah, this piece supports our long-term story that we're trying to tell, or it might win clicks but undermine our positioning. So it comes down to those little nuances of the human.
Yeah, right. And AI can help you say things, but only humans can decide if those things are smart to say. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
You have to tell AI it's wrong.
Yes.
So one of my favorite lines is, think of AI as a creative partner, not like a vending machine. So you can't just go start pushing buttons and take what's out, So it's a mind shift thing, right? Like it needs to produce quality. So let's talk about that mind shift just a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, in the strongest setups, humans will bring to the table sharper questions about what customers really want the product to do. Clarity on which proof points matter the most, a sense of which beliefs need to shift for behavior to change. Those are all the things that we as humans need to bring in. And then AI can come in and expand on them or offer an outline, suggest an angle or language. But humans then still have to cut what's off brand, strengthen that piece, and strengthen what's insightful from that draft. Make sure that it's something they're willing to put their name on, to sign their name to. When you work that way, you can get speed from AI and standards from humans, and it's a better use of time. Because it's not like we're wrestling with a blank page, but we're also putting something out that we can truly feel comfortable putting our name on.
Absolutely. Great collaborator. Okay, decision maker.
Yes.
So you can, and so you also, you can protect the word trust, protect the trust that you have with your clients and with industry, and because those are like actual roles and rules and checkpoints rather than who has a login and can ship content. I mean, anybody can do that. So,
Yeah.
all right. So let's just kind of land this for people. So if you're in marketing or communications, maybe a startup CEO, and you're listening to this and you're thinking, okay, we are definitely in that we're using AI, but we don't have a system kind of camp. Like, what are one or two, I guess, practical steps that you would suggest to take next, Mary?
So I think I would suggest mapping your current reality. So where is AI in your content process already? And who's prompting it? So if anything, what, if anything, is being checked before publishing? Those are some grounds that you need to set, ground rules that you need to set.
Sure.
Name a human owner. So it could be someone on your team. It might be a partner like Edge, or someone, but someone needs to own standards, guardrails, and workflows. So you need someone to focus on that as well.
Yeah.
And then I guess define your must be human zones. So what do the humans need to take care of after AI has done the drafting, the outlining, like legal or regulatory language, sensitive client stories, new product or risk related promises, things like that. Those should always have stronger human control.
Sure.
From there, you can then start building out the AI-fluent content specialist role, whether it's in-house or outsourced or embedded.
Yeah, right. So, that's a great checklist. And of course, if you want help designing that human plus AI workflow, or just want someone to tell you whether your current AI content is secretly making your boss or your general counsel sweat, you can always reach out to Edge. We embarked on the AI journey, like truly, well over a year ago, and just have a lot of experience in it and have incorporated it into our workflows. So it's definitely powerful, but it's also, there is risk that comes with it as well. So Mary, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your wonderful insights.
Yeah, thank you, Amy. It was fun. This was fun.
It was fun. You wonder if these will be fun. All right. So anyways, but thanks to our listeners. And oh, by the way, yes, one of our colleagues, Nicole Martin, she recently wrote an article about this topic, and we'll link the full article. It's titled Accountability and Precision, Define the Next Phase of AI Adoption. And we'll put that in the show notes. And so if this episode sparks some ideas or concerns about your own AI use and content, we'd love to hear from you. So until next time, this is Edge Unscripted.
This has been Edge Unscripted. We appreciate you joining us and hope you enjoyed the conversation. Connect with us by leaving a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.